Hello and welcome. I'm John, the executive producer here at Final Show Films, and thank you for tuning in to watch us do whatever it is we're about to do. Thank you for all of you that watch, those of you that watch live, but particularly those of you that support us on our Patreon at patreon.com/finalshowfilms. Particularly want to shout out our $25 tier supporters, Rowan Parker, Drevian Alexander, Samantha Bates, Catwater Flame, and Elle. Thank you all very much for supporting us over the years. It means a lot, and it's the only reason we can do all the things that we do. So, for those of you watching, thank you. Sit back, relax, and enjoy. And we're live.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Stardust RPG on Trails of Stardust, the 5th edition science fantasy campaign run by yours truly. I am William, and I am your game master. And joining me today, we have Jack.
Hey, everybody, I'm Jack. I'm playing Till Wayland. Iron Path, Way of the Iron Path Monk, Avian.
And Jeremy.
Hi, I'm Jeremy, doing whatever we're about to be doing today. And I am playing Kendall Fairchild, an Eladrin warlock whose patron is her daddy.
Yep. And John.
I'm John. I'm playing Coltarn, the Orc Artificer, and also his constructed Orc companion, Tolbar.
And Cody.
I'm Cody. I'm playing Varush Al-Rul, the Loxodon Paladin.
Yes!
Right now, you're an emergency break.
Yeah. We are on uneven
You're
terrain.
a wheel chuck.
Yeah.
And Holly.
Hi, I'm Holly. I'm playing Crystal and
And Camille.
Hi, I'm Camille. I'm playing Gideon Eaglin, an avian rogue, 1/3 of the birds and the bees.
There you go.
And the last third of the birds and the bees, Craig.
I am playing bees, a bunch of nocturne and torch bees that collectively are a ranger.
Statistically, bees is the most of the birds and the bees, because there's a lot more bees than there are birds.
Are we counting
That's
by
fair.
individuals or by mass?
Both.
Bees is the most of the party.
Right.
Yeah, that's absolutely true.
We recently learned about democracy. We think we should make all party decisions. All members get one vote.
Every bee gets a vote.
Bees,
And this is where
how
we
many
learn about-
parties are in your democracy?
It's a
This is where bees
democracy.
learns about representative democracy.
Don't look too close into our inner workings. That would be a sting.
I'm going to stab you.
Well,
That's
Jeremy
also
is
what a
slowly
sting is,
dying. So
And every pun accelerates that.
I'm statistically the closest to death anyways. Do you really want to push that?
Jeremy, honey,
I know you do. It's fine.
Sal's still angling for
I
that alpha roll. Isn't he?
exactly. I got the Sinatra all queued up for my inauguration party.
I think it's cute that Sal thinks that Ingvar would not kill Sal before she would let him be alpha.
That is also a fair point.
Like I've said before, I have this perfectly legitimate notarized letter.
Mr. Taylor insisted that I take over in his
All right, I'm
stead.
invoking the right to challenge the leader not in wartime.
Not claw block. All right, sorry everybody.
Anyway, when last we left off, the group having discovered a mysterious dead body inside the tavern that they had just been in before the invasion of a bunch of undead space pirates, which is still ongoing and just tends to be moving further away from the planet by this point. The group has, at the...
You did not succeed at muting, Camille.
Oh, I had actually unmuted, and then my son started talking again.
Oh, good.
The group had, at the not so much behest as acquiescence of the lawmaster, taken the body into the swamp to seek out the Oracle of Nocturna in order to learn what they could about it.
Oh, behests are the next version of guild hests in Final Fantasy XIV.
I'm really excited to meet the Oracle. There's been a lot of buzz about them.
After Kendall spent a little bit of time talking with the owner of Smoke on the Walker, an orc engineer who with Kendall being able to leverage her position as a member of her particular family into getting a free rental of one of their dust runners to maneuver their way through the Osbaron swamp much faster and more safely than they could potentially on foot. Which was helpful when they were ambushed by Bloodkin in the midst of the swamps on the route there, with several of the group being injured, but no one dying. The Bloodkin were defeated, and that's where we pick up.
I just need to ask out of character. So meeting the Oracle is a high priority for Beast?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, cool. Just checking.
Yeah. Now, once we get there, we'll be sure to comb through all their files and
All right.
larva no stone unturned.
So anyway,
No.
Till is on the hood of a vehicle looking over at Kendall, who's basically has the minimum amount of blood necessary in a body to sustain life, I think.
I am going to stop. I am legitimately concerned. I'm going to give Jeremy an aneurysm.
At least
Don't worry, I have no such fears.
at that point, we'll at least be that much closer to knowing what causes aneurysms.
Miss Fairchild, we need to patch you up now.
What?
All right.
Why are you
Colton.
all so tall?
Because you're sitting down.
Oh, and then
Go.
she tries to stand up.
There's just a hand on a shoulder.
Ugh.
At the moment, Coltarn and Tolbar are hefting the elephant up. It takes both of them.
Uh-huh.
I think Mistel is over there spotting for them.
Supervising.
Yes. Yeah, she's like got her little hands up, like, I got you. If you drop him, I got it.
It'll take a while for me to prepare more regenerative serum, so... And before we can patch any wounds, we'll need to get everyone back into the car.
Some of the torch bees fly over to Kendall, carrying these almost pearlescent orbs of honey.
Oh yeah, Mistel, you have some of those, by the way, still.
Sure do.
Mistel has what, 3? I think.
I think so.
As Coltarn is picking up the unconscious elephant.
Oh, yes.
And more and more of the bees are headed in that direction.
Oh, yeah, no, she'll give. I'm sorry, name Colton?
Baruch.
Varouche. Coltarn is me. Varouche is the
No,
elephant.
I was asking, but the
Yeah.
elephant's unconscious.
Yeah.
No, I was asking for your character.
Coltarn.
Okay. She'll give him the little honey drops. This should help.
Sort of like roll it over for a second. Nothing if not a man that loves experimentation. And shove it into the elephant's mouth.
Me too.
You regain 1 hit point, Coltarn.
Not
Coltarn.
Varouche.
Varouche. Conversation.
Coltarn's just like, 1 for you, 1 for me.
2 for you, 3 for me.
Brace up against you two for a second.
Coltarn gives a little. Tolbar doesn't.
Look around. That's good news. And then I go sit in the truck.
Everyone loaded in.
And I use my last lay on hand, 5 points of lay on hands to give myself 6 hit points.
There you go.
And I'll motion for Till to maneuver Kendall closer to me.
Okay. Yeah, no, Till just pick Kendall up and carry her, standard collapse in arms sort of ragdoll. Yeah. Okay.
No, she goes full.
Right. Yep.
All right.
Does she eat one of the honey drops?
What brings it out? Just one of the bees?
Well, like a little cluster of them carrying it. It sort of is. It's a semi-solidified little drop of honey about the size of a like a hard candy, like a Werther's about, but it's this almost a pearlescent sheen to the outside, but clear and or at least translucent.
She looks over her mother and goes, no, I know not to take random pills when I'm down.
The bees are sort of pushing it at your face.
Sorry,
And
bees are getting smacked.
She's carried over to, before any smacking happens, she's carried away from the bees over to Varouche.
Unceremoniously palming of the whole head. Have 10 hit points.
Woot.
Oh. I'll get back into the car. Pull over the large technological backpack that Coltarn carries most of the time. And there's a as he opens up the top of it, and there's just little bits of condensing
Wrong
like
direction.
What? No,
me. That's bad.
There you go.
little bits of condensed air, a cold mist emanating out of it, and I begin the synthesization process that it takes for me to actually produce my cure wound potions. So, since apparently we're gonna need them. All right, it's going to take about 8 hours for me to finish producing more regenerative serum, so I would trust that we don't get into any more fights in that time.
Do our best then, I suppose.
Just get moving before they come to investigate.
Miss Fairchild, are you feeling up to driving, or do we need to have somebody else take over for a moment?
When she's healed a little bit, is she? Are you still carrying her?
I mean, unless she.
No, she's not getting down until she's set down.
Okay, yeah. He's asking so he knows where to put her down. Yes, basically.
No, I can drive. I'm good. I'm fine.
Does she look like he's telling the truth?
I mean, she can still drive.
No, doesn't mean to be advantage, but 20 on the insight.
She can still, so she can still drive. She's definitely in plaintive everything hurts, ow, ow, ow mode.
Okay.
Because she got 10, but she's still missing half her hit points.
Right.
And Yeah, you're guessing that she's the kind of person that would probably whine and complain when she stubbed her toe like she got shot. So,
Okay.
but I mean, she's capable. She's not trying to put on a brave face or anything.
Right. So we'll give her a look, set her down in the driver's seat, and then
Ow.
turn back. Missile, was there anything worth scavenging off any of these corpses?
Is there anything worth scavenging? Because I believe she checked at the end of last.
Their
last
armor
day.
are scrap metal plates, so not that great. Their weapons are scrap iron great axes and cobbled together pipe iron like pipe pistols. So you be the judge of that.
I grabbed a great axe already.
Do any of them have any money?
Let me think about that. No.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do any of them have anything sweet?
No.
I think my minute is up, by the way. The ethereal jaunt is over. So the bees come pouring back into the car and into the armor, which starts to sort of slowly move again. And the voice comes out. Is Gideon still up in the turret?
Yep.
Okay. Gideon, this car has a gun on it. You did great. We should take it. Can we keep it?
We can't keep either thing. We borrowed it, sort of, I think. Anyway, you did good. Are you all right?
Yeah, are you?
Yeah, I'm good. I didn't get touched.
They banged up our hive a little bit, but we're okay.
Man, this gun's great.
It was really neat.
So, are we gonna stay here? Cause it looks like we got banged up pretty bad. I mean, everybody but me.
We're gonna drive. Hey Kendall, we can drive. You taught us how to drive, and now we can drive. Can we drive?
Worth noting, Kendall did not teach them how to drive.
No, 100% not.
Yep.
Bees just watched. We know how now.
No, not yet, bees.
Oh, come on.
Gideon
I'm
raises a good point. Come on.
Gideon. Bees.
fine.
William,
I need you boys to calm down for a bit. All
I
right.
mean-
Rules.
Here's a thought. If we crash this, we take any chance that we crash this, we're walking and we're getting a lot more of that.
William,
Just reach
Yes.
the bloodkin.
how much more distance would we need to cover in the car to get to the Oracle? Would we be able to get there before the end of the day?
Not before the end of the day. You cut a 3-day journey to about a day and a half. So you would need, it's been about 6 hours of driving. You would need to rest, and then you have another probably 12 hours.
In order to shortcut a lot of that, and in order to make sure that you all get the healing you
Or 10
need,
hours.
we're not going to make it to the Oracle in one day. The sound of the car is what drew the enemy to us. Might suggest we find a spot to park around here where we've already killed them and have a nice, good open view of all directions for if more of them decide they want some.
That sounds smart. We should do that.
Bees, how well do you know these swamps?
How well do I know these swamps?
Roll me a survival check.
You got it. We know them.
Insight check.
Yep.
Just flat.
Yep.
13.
Bees is very confident in that they know the swamps. However,
I
Bees
got
has
it
been very
too.
Bees has been very confident that they know
How to drive,
drive.
now. All right. Well,
Deception.
bees, since we're not going to let you drive right now, I've got a more important job for you in the meantime then. See if you can find us a campsite somewhere safe.
Okay.
All right.
The hive armor sort of lurches forward. One of the gauntlets kind of gropes roughly at the door, eventually finds the latch, and then it lurches forth. A spiraling bunch of the torch bees moving around it, kind of in all directions as the hive armor lurches.
As the hive goes off on a hike. Awesome.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll help. And I open my wings and flop out before anybody can stop.
I was actually going to
Gideon,
recommend
do you have a
do.
communicator?
Do we have a communicator? I don't think so. No.
Here, take mine. I'm not going anywhere. I hand it over to Gideon because Bees is already out of the truck.
It's okay. We can talk amongst ourselves. We can leave some of us here. Just remember, any time that we're in visual range, you can use us to speak. We call it anytime you can see us, we call it a CB radio.
All right. Well, let us know what you find then.
William, I'm going to startle you a little bit. I said that primarily for the pun, and I don't know if you're going to let me use bees that way.
Sorry, what was the sentence? I got lost.
I think we all did.
That if bees leaves some of their bees here and takes the others off, they can communicate with them. I will be 100% honest. I have no abilities that would allow that. I'm just asking you to let me know.
Certainly.
It's funny.
I will say. Oh my God.
I think it's entirely valid to not let me do that. 'cause
Within
I
like
really
10
have no
feet,
good
maybe?
explanation.
I would say
Yeah.
within visual range, you can
So
do that.
So it is a CB's radio.
Because the thing is,
Motherfucker!
bees can communicate a lot by dancing. So I will say, as long as you can see where your bees are at, then you can do that.
The hive is immediately like, oh, get funky. Now I'm killing William too. Oh no.
No, that's not you. Okay. Anyway,
Right.
but yeah.
So I guess Bees and Gideon are just see ya.
Yeah, we're gonna fly up and float around and try to find something. I'm not as useful with survival, but I can spot high ground.
My natural one begs to differ.
While they're doing that, and I've got my stuff percolating, I'm gonna see if I can gather any. I'm gonna actually use some of the spare scrap iron that our enemies have so kindly brought to us. I'm gonna go to the damaged areas of the vehicle, pull out a small blowtorch, as I use my produce flame cantrip to produce some flame, and I'm gonna use it to try to patch up the vehicle.
Do you have anything that would actually do repairs?
Technology skill.
You would need a lot more time than just a.
I also have-
it's-
I also have Smith's tools, Tinker's tools, and Smith's tools, Tinker's technology, and a blowtorch.
So the way that dust runners work, let me pull up my documents so I can tell you exactly how repairing a dust runner functions.
I do not currently have the mending cantrip, but I will at some point.
Mending also wouldn't really help you with a dust runner.
No, it'll help me with toolbar.
Yeah, with toolbar, yes, but that takes 10 minutes every casting. Because by the way, mending has is it a minute or 10 minutes? One or the other.
It's like a minute.
Mending has a long cast time.
Yeah, it's a minute.
Oh yeah, no, it's an out of combat cure for toolbar, but it's a repeatable free out of combat cure for toolbar.
So yeah, where was I? Repairing a dust runner. blur.
Oh, you don't have your own. You don't have your own rules memorized, William. Jeez.
Yeah, the thing that when I've written like massive amounts of rules that have been translated from other systems in order to try and fix this thing. Yeah.
How much problem is?
Yeah, I have a faster way of getting where I want to go.
I have all.
Also, William, while you're looking that up, does this feature from my background that I just put into chat, would that be functional on the Dust Runner?
Yes, it would.
Okay. So yeah,
It
while
wouldn't restore mega hit points, but it would restore hit points.
right, because these just yeah. So yeah, while Kartarn is pulling together scrap material and stuff, Till just pulls out his own set of tools from his backpack and just starts going to the areas, especially anywhere that there's been an actual a damaged feature, and begins pulling out it looks like some sort of paste, but if you look into it, it's actively plant material and dirt. Begins molding it in to various rends and damaged locations, and then melds it with a he's got a small kind of canister gun that puts out some sort of not quite liquid but slightly thinner than slime, and it starts to solidify and harden, and these little tendrils grow in and cover and complete circuits that may have been severed or damaged and things like that. And so the Dust Runner's a little plant-based now as well, and it gets 10 hit points back.
Yep. And aside from that,
So,
which is a feature that you can do as a shipwright,
Mhm.
The Smoky Walker special has a number of hit dice. In this case, 20. That's 20 d12s. Traditionally speaking, a Dust Runner cannot use hit dice normally and doesn't recover hit dice or hit points during a long rest. Instead, a creature can elect to spend up to 4 hours each long rest performing field repairs to try and recover the Dust Runner's hit points. At the end of each hour of repairs, the Dust Runner can spend 2 of its hit dice.
Oh.
So if you spend the full 4 hours, you can spend 8 of its hit dice to recover some of those hit points.
Is that something I can do during a long rest?
Yeah, absolutely. You can absolutely just like spend those 4 hours during your long rest, working on repairs, and just spend hit dice as needed to repair the Dust Runner.
I will do that
From its
then.
pool. For each hit die spent this way, the repairing player rolls a die and adds the Dust Runner's con mod to it, and it regains those hit points for the total.
What's the con mod of the?
Or
And
4.
what's the hit dice again?
They're d12s.
D12s. All right. So
does Coltar need sleep?
yeah, but we're gonna be driving for a while, so I can sleep later.
As you're doing it. No, I guess we're off.
Yeah, you're
None of
off.
the bees have stayed behind. Never mind.
Yeah, to regain spent hit dice, the Dust Runner must spend 24 hours inactive over a period of 3 days.
Though, I mean, you'll
Or
probably
be
come.
repaired at a workshop.
You will probably get back at some point before I finish, though, because assumingly we're going to be moving to a safe spot to actually have our long rest. I'm just getting this started now.
Yeah, so Gideon and Bees give me a survival check. Both of you or one of you can give the other one advantage. That's up to you.
I've got a +6. Do you want to have me try it with advantage?
You can, yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
2 nat ones.
Okay.
2
Yeah.
nat
No.
ones.
23. Thank God. Okay.
So yeah, with a
Good job,
23,
Bees.
you're able to locate a pretty decent area that's got a nice overhang shielded from the elements and large enough to conceivably conceal the Dust Runner in.
What I might say as an explanation is that while they are absolutely not familiar with this particular area, they're relatively familiar with the swampy areas of Nocturna, so they can find something even if it's not.
Yeah, generally. Like even if you don't know this area in particular, you know what to look for at least.
Okay.
I know that sensation.
All right. So do Bees and Gideon eventually come back having found a spot then?
Yes.
First
All
hour, I
right.
repair 7 hit points.
What does it look like at the place that we find?
You can roll 2 hit dice per hour.
Oh, 2 hit dice? The first hour, I repair 19 hit points.
It has 230, so plus 19.
How many is it?
200. With that 19, it's at 205.
Okay, so it's better off then.
And that includes does the 205 include the 10 that I get?
Oh, that's right. So that would be 215 actually.
215.
So it's actually almost completely repaired.
Pretty close.
It's down 15 hit points right now.
I'm just sitting in the car, so
Yep.
I'm taking a short rest.
Fair.
Same.
The place that we found, what does it look like?
It's basically a small, like, not quite a cave. It's sort of a lean-to. It's this area where some of the rocky outcropping has broken away. So there's this overhang of stone that sits that juts out of the ground and provides a decent amount of cover, and is covered in just like a variety of moss that hangs down and can provide good concealment. And it's short. It's short one wall of a cave, basically.
What do you think, Gideon?
I don't know. You know this stuff better than I do. I was just coming along the look from the air. If you like it, I like it.
I think it could work.
Cool. Let's go tell them.
Okay.
We'll go back and tell them what we found and show them how to get there.
I assume Kendall will drive according to directed path.
Yeah, where are we going again?
We found a hole you can cram into.
Okay.
Till kind of gives like a look at that, like, wow, she went for it.
If she got the reference, she makes no indication that she did.
Right.
It's not a reference. It's a hole. It's good for cramming. Bees are down.
It is 100%.
How dare you? How dare you?
Vroom vroom.
So you drive over and find this particular outcropping that you can shelter the dust runner under.
I cram us into the hole.
Bees will immediately start knitting sort of webbing or cocooning over the top of the open part to create a more snug covering.
Is the are the surroundings basically kind of similar to what we'd seen when we were fighting the Bloodkin, with like some firm ground, a lot of mud, and then some actual water courses that are visible? Or
Basically, yeah.
okay.
It's just in this particular case, rather than just some amounts of rock jutting out of the moss and bog, there's actually a large amount of it that is sort of peaked
Right.
out.
So I will continue to repair the vehicle then, after we've put it into a more secure space.
While we're here, before after rest, can I like fly from the air and scout around and see if I see where other baddies might be nearby?
It's an excellent plan.
Go ahead and roll me a perception check.
I've finished patching up the dust runner.
Yep. 2 hours and it's a full repair.
The bees are buzzing around you with pretty avid attention. What are you doing to our car?
Fixing it.
27 on perception.
How'd that work?
Well, you take bits of metal to replace the bits of metal that were shorn away. You apply a significant amount of heat and bond them together, then apply reinforcement.
It's a little like fixing a hive, except you use heat instead of spit.
Yeah.
Bees are gonna watch as they rest and try to learn about repair.
Whole time we'll actually like compare, like offer a bit of an like an analogy of like the metal being, rather than the heat being the spit, the metal being the spit, and the heat just being the application.
I got a 27 on perception, William.
Yep. So as you look around, you can see smoke rising up from certain areas within the dense foliage that is this particular section of mossy swamp. The most likely answer is that those areas of smoke are locations where Bloodkin have set up camp, which means that those are the areas that you're likely to see a lot of potential danger around, but you are conveniently a good distance away from most of them. So unless they are actively hunting you, they are less than likely to be able to just stumble across you. You do seem to have a relatively clear path now that you've killed off this one party that found you, going towards the location that you know to be the Oracle's home.
Wait, I will go back and report that. Looks like we're clear around here. There's some that are near-ish, but honestly, as long as they're not really looking for us, which is to say, as long as, their buddies didn't tell them that we're here, we should be all right. Also, our path looks pretty much clear from here. So
I get the suspicion that they're not big on communication, so I don't know that we need to worry about them being told we're here so much as them stumbling on us while they're out looking for things to kill.
Yeah.
yeah,
For the Osberan natives, or Osber, for the Nocturnan natives, the Bloodkin don't have a language that anyone has been able to detect. You don't know how they communicate, but it's not with words.
I mean,
Right.
like, they weren't big talkers, so
yeah, but they could also be like telepathic or some shit like that. In any case, I don't think they're gonna come. I don't think we have to worry about them coming to us, especially not as long as we rest and then move.
I will go ahead and just mechanically, this is just things that happen for long rests, so I don't actually have to do anything. But as sort of an in-universe justification, I will begin handing out like small amounts of regenerative serum to help speed along everyone's recovery as we rest.
Yep. So you all take a long rest, recover half your expended maximum hit dice, and regain all your hit points and everything else. The Dust Runner will not regain any of those spent hit dice because, again, it requires 24 hours of inactivity across a 3-day period to regain its hit dice.
Yep.
Or being repaired in a workshop.
But that's fine. I only spent 4. And thus only spent 2 hours.
So I guess we just rest for the night and then we'll start back up in the morning.
Anything that needs to happen over the course of this long rest?
I will
I'm assuming you're all setting a watch organization.
I will set Tolbar on watch.
Yeah,
These-
and
Bees can watch all the watches.
I was gonna ask
Does
which
bees not need sleep?
direction-
Bees need sleep, but they don't. They need rest for 4 hours, but they don't have to sleep.
Okay.
It's essentially the individual torch bees kind of rest in shifts, so they
Mhm.
can remain conscious and on watch.
So it's kind of elf trance.
Yeah, basically.
More Warforged-ish.
Okay,
yeah.
gotcha.
Tolbar does not need sleep at all, and thus will stay on watch.
Whatever direction Gideon indicated that the closest plume of smoke was from, for about let's see, 10-foot stretch in that direction between some trees nearby, he'll cast alarm. If anything crosses that in the night, it'll wake him up. Actually, it'll just make a loud noise to wake everybody up.
Yep.
Kendall goes into the back of the vehicle, comes out with the backpack that she'd put in there. Starts pulling out some things to actually make up a bed. And then look
What's
for a
that?
place to set it up.
Like a frame.
Bed? No, like I don't think you. If she could, she would.
That's
But
what I
I
was
don't
asking.
think you can actually carry that kind of thing just in like.
It's the future.
I mean, you can't, but you're also not your dad who's an archfey.
Right.
Your dad probably absolutely could.
Mr. will look at it. Is the ground not good enough for you?
Why would I sleep on the ground?
Because it's always here.
You know what's also here? And it's easy put together, too.
The ground is super easy to put together. You don't have to.
It's also dirty and uncomfortable.
It's very comfortable. You
It's
can
not.
lay a blanket down.
The ground here is very wet. Just to lay that out there because this is a swamp planet.
She still stands by what she said.
Fair.
I will basically like fall asleep in one of the seats in the car.
Yeah, what sort of, let's see, we've got 2 seats in the front. What about the bed of the vehicle?
It's basically a truck bed.
Could probably fit 2 or 3 people there.
Gideon is
that's
remarkably
5.
interested in Kendall's bed.
Not in the creepy way, just like a
I was
fascination
gonna
way,
say,
I'm
can we
assuming.
clarify that?
I can say that a few ways.
Like the bed itself. Like he doesn't want to sleep in the bed. He's
Got
like,
it.
But why would you? Why?
Why what? I
Like bed's going housing. So why do you have it here?
because I need to sleep in places that aren't houses. If I wanted to sleep in my bed in my house, I'd be at home. But I'm not. I'm here, so I still
you don't
need
want
to
to sleep in
sleep.
the car. It's safer.
It's apparently not
It's
good enough for her.
uncomfortable.
Uncomfortable.
I need to get a certain amount of rest a night, and it's easiest to do that with.
You have to sleep in a certain place.
Kendall looks over at Till confused and like, am I not speaking common?
You don't.
Bill is looking at the bed or whatever materials she has. Is it possible that he could use his cunning artisan racial feature to whip up a rough bed frame from like wood that's lying around and stuff?
Theoretically, I'd ask for a tool check.
Okay.
So you can't sleep sitting up.
I mean, if I really had to, I probably could. I don't know. I've never tried it. Why would I sleep sitting up when I can sleep laying down?
Never had to sleep sitting up.
I mean, no.
But don't you want to put your
Because I
back
have
to a
things
wall?
called beds. What?
Yeah, but don't you want to put your back to a wall?
Why would I? Why would
Be-
I need to put my back to a wall? I mean, there are. I'm sleeping, so my back is to the floor.
Yeah, but what if something comes up behind you?
What would come up behind me? I have
Something
bodyguards.
that wants to kill you.
I have
Yeah.
bodyguards.
What if it's already killed the bodyguards at this point?
I'm.
But your
It's not going to
bodyguards are-
kill the bodyguard.
You d-
Have you
do
met? Have you met
Till's your
Till?
bodyguard.
Yes.
She looks at
Oh,
Till.
that's what you do.
Looks at Till. Was that not clear? Did I not?
thought it was.
Are you only picking that up now?
Swore I heard you
Yeah?
two have a conversation about this back at the bar.
It was explicitly stated. To you.
No, he said he worked for her. He didn't say he was her bodyguard.
He told me he worked for her father.
Yeah, that.
I mean, yes, my daddy pays him, yes, but you know, my bodyguard.
Yeah, but like your dad pays him to keep you safe. Like that's
Right.
not the same. I mean, it is the same thing, but like
It
he
is
could
the
pay
same
for a
thing.
lot
It
of
is
things. He could
exactly
be your
the
accountant
same
for all I
thing.
know. He
Tell
could be
me
your
you get
accountant for
paid
all I
well
know.
for this. She
Till's
says,
face.
pointing at Kendall.
Till's face is roughly about as expressive as your average rock wall at this point.
Can I read
I-
that at all?
I mean, if you want to make an insight check,
You
go right
know-
ahead.
We'll all have much better sleep and get on with this task at a much greater pace if we stop interrogating the individual use of a bed.
I mean, I assume he gets paid well. I don't know. I didn't ask Daddy how much he makes.
17
Okay.
for insight.
Till's got a little bit of a 1,000-yard stare right now, so you're not entirely sure if or how much he gets paid.
Bodyguard, job description, security guard, pay.
Mr. will
William,
fly
can I
over
make-
to-
Can I
That's
make a when I do this? Can I do the tools check with shipwrights tools since I generally work with plant-based materials in most
Yeah,
of my
I'll say so.
shipwriting miss? Okay. Anyway, sorry. Mistel does what?
Oh, she flies over to tell. Sorry, I forgot what I was about to say.
She says that to him.
I'm sorry.
Hey, William, the gunner's pit, is there a seat in it?
Yeah, it's a standing situation, so no.
Okay. Well, then, if there's a spot in the car that Gideon can get in and sleep in there, that's where he'll sleep. Otherwise, he'll just put his back to the outside of it.
You can absolutely
Vehicle.
sleep like in the bed of the truck.
Bees will
Yeah, in the bed of the
100%
truck.
weave you a hammock.
Sorry, Mistel.
Do you enjoy your job?
I do get to see a lot of things that I wouldn't otherwise.
Wasn't a straight answer.
Subtext, because I'd be dead.
I suppose it wasn't. I do like the exploratory nature of it. Miss Fairchild does go to a lot of places that I personally do find fairly interesting.
But do you enjoy being her bodyguard?
Absolutely.
Interesting.
And he gives you a smile that it's bordering on sincerity.
She will back away.
Why do I feel like my survival was based on how Till answered the question?
She will not murder you. Yet. If Bees allows it, Mr. will fall asleep on Bees.
Oh yeah, for sure. There's sort of. I assume you mean sort of on the hive body.
Yes, yeah.
Because they're sort of out and about doing things. They're making a web hammock for Gideon, and then Mistel wakes up. She will find that there's a little sort of webbed blanket that's been woven over her.
Aw.
Yeah, Gideon's not sleeping in it.
So, William, would this be dexterity tools check, intelligence tools check? What are we thinking here?
Dexterity.
Okay. Flat 20.
I'll say yeah. You can put together a rough frame.
Okay. So yeah, Till cut a couple pieces of timber and basically set up a wood frame, and he joints the wooden pieces so that they kind of lock together, and then reinforces them with some sort of organic substance that he activates with one of his many little chemical guns. That should serve for at least temporary bed frame for you, Miss Fairchild.
Thank you. You're the best.
We do what we can.
If nobody claims that truck bed, that is where Baruch is sleeping.
I'm already there, but
okay.
there's plenty of room.
I mean,
so-
I feel like
Yeah.
it's a truck bed. You could probably
Yeah.
even the two of you probably being the biggest people here still.
There's
could
also
fit.
just like someone could just lay across the seat in the front as well.
Yeah.
I'm totally doing that because I'm not sleeping in that thing. Beats me.
I feel like we've had this discussion before. Bees always makes it. Gideon never uses it.
Oh, if
Right.
Gideon's not using it, Till's definitely using the bee's hammock. Because we've got a robot to keep watch for us, so we don't
Mhm.
actually need to do it ourselves.
You got a robot and beast.
Before Till lays down, he goes to Bees. If you see anything dangerous, tell me first, please.
Okay.
And then he takes this like 2 steps away and then turns around and comes back to Bees. What sort of things do you think are dangerous?
Cops. And
All right.
what bloodkin, and then what other predators are there here? Tracheal mites. There will be some list of like fungus that
Right.
affect
Yeah, right.
eyes.
Yes, right.
And
Mold,
various things, yeah,
right.
various things that cause illness in torch bees.
Right.
Any other specific, large predators or things like that.
That's a pretty good list. Most of the smaller ones, I'm sure you can take care of yourself, so you probably don't need to alert me if you find any mites. But the larger ones especially.
Okay.
And Till kind of reaches out and sort of pats Bees on the shoulder of the armor fairly gently.
There's a crack and it moves a little. No, you said
sorry.
fairly gently. No,
Yeah,
you said
right.
fairly gently. I'm sorry.
Right.
So it's just it's a little dusty, and some
Right,
of the
yep.
webbing comes away on your hand. That's all.
Well, we'll talk to you all in the morning if everything goes safely. Bed.
Okay.
Mhm.
All right. Yeah. So you all get a long rest. The rest passes uneventfully, as you do seem to have managed to make it far enough away from that area that no one decides to look for you on the way if they come to look what happened to their missing party. It's a bit disconcerting resting for the night with a dead body that doesn't seem to decompose.
Yeah, I intentionally am not thinking about that at all. I just have
Like rigor mortis hasn't even set in. It's not stiff.
Yeah, I definitely stayed up for the first watch just out of habit.
I have Tollbar set to wake me up if anything approaches hostilely. So
There's a lot of grown-ups around, so I'm really not worried about it.
Like this dead body is a TV dead body. In which I mean like the actor just laying there limp.
That's a theater dead body, not a TV dead body.
It's fair. Yeah.
Depends on the show, I guess.
I know. Fair.
So when we get up, I'm going to go ahead and scout again, if I can do that.
I mean, first we need to find out if the night passes uneventfully. Fully.
I did. I just said that. I
That's
said
what,
that.
that's what he
Everyone
said. He said that. Yeah. So. Oh, I rolled 2. I only meant to roll 1, but the 14 is the one I rolled first. So.
So at 14, it still looks clear. Those campfires have actually moved further away from your path.
Cool. I'm gonna come back and report that, and I will just hop in the gunner spot as soon as we pull the car out,
And
the dust runner, and I'll be right back.
I will go ahead. I'll start them once I'm woken up by the sound of my backpack finishing its work.
Brewing cycle.
Yeah. I will pass out another just small vial of regenerative potion to everyone to finalize all of the any last lingering aches, pains, and wounds that they might have. And you'll all have noticed that since obviously you're full health because we had a long rest, but any more visible scars would have perfectly reformed, or injuries would have perfectly reformed, leaving no scars.
All right. So we have what? About half a day's travel left, do we think?
Close on to a day, I think, but yeah.
Towards the tail end.
All right. Well, trusting the navigation. Mr. Fairchild, you ready to take the wheel again?
Yeah, assuming that we've had about an hour since we got up for her to get ready.
I assume that was what we're
Like
waiting for
during
to come back.
breakfast and all that stuff. Yeah.
What is that routine like?
Oh, there's 100% a beauty routine makeup. Picking out some clothing. Definitely some kind of probably tea, not coffee. Right upon waking up, she immediately will use one of her spell slots to cast Unseen Servant, so it can take the bed apart and put it away. And then throughout the rest of the time getting ready, a short rest period to get that spell slot back.
I like the idea that mechanically you only take an hour to get ready to get your spell slot back.
That you use to get ready. Fantastic. Go ahead.
As much as Kendall will allow, Gideon kind of watches her get ready, and while she's putting her makeup on, you can. It's kind of hard to tell he's smiling because of his beak, but he seems very happy watching her put on her makeup and everything.
Why you gotta be so fucking creepy, Camille?
Because
like out of character, it's a familiarity thing.
Yeah.
Right. This makes a ton of sense.
Because he grows up, because he literally grew up in a whorehouse, so he's seeing his parents.
I was just about to do that because bees are around and they go, "We know what that is. That's makeup."
Yeah, you're correct, bees.
Lots of people in the brothel use it every morning.
Bees, you're not supposed to interrupt.
Okay. Do you work in a brothel?
No, she doesn't.
Oh my God.
No, wait, no, wait, no, it's not like that. No, so my mama's working, my mama's working a brothel, and so we watch them get ready in the morning, well, at night, before they send us away.
Right.
So,
No, it's fine. I didn't take offense. It is totally fine.
During this conversation, Mistel sits there and raises her hand.
ow!
Hi, Mistel.
What's a brothel?
Well, it's a place where ladies entertain men. They do things that the men want them to do. Not always like dirty things, but sometimes dirty things. And
Like there's dirt and mud?
No, sometimes there's
No.
just reproduction and
Yeah,
copulation.
that. Well,
Oh.
except not, because they make sure that they don't reproduce. But like the thing that makes people reproduce, like they do that.
Sometimes it looks like signal
Okay.
dancing, but I can't understand it.
You're not supposed to watch that, Beeve.
Sometimes they don't close the windows.
That is creepy. That's creepy. Watching her put on her makeup is not creepy.
Yeah.
That is creepy.
I'm not. It is a little bit creepy, bees.
Why?
This is the best conversation.
Because that's a very private thing.
It's
Mama
not. Some
said-
of us are reproducing right now in the hive.
Steve, how many times have I told
Ew.
you?
Specifically
Everybody
the queen.
else doesn't work like you.
I
Is the
go
hive a brothel?
Well, that-
over to Varouche.
Well, that does actually raise a fairly interesting academic point.
And
Given that bees is technically a different species, well, you might consider the fact that he has occasionally seen something as xenobiology research.
they lean over to Varouche.
Mhm.
Did you just accuse bees of doing research?
We're a researcher.
And
Congratulations, bees.
Call us
You all are a
Professor Bean.
scientist.
Not
And
you
I-
are.
It's not a
and-
thing.
Gideon, you have to call us Professor now.
and to
That's
Varouche,
not happening.
I go, are we really listening to them figure out the birds and the bees right now?
Oh my God.
When it's two birds and a pile of bees, yes.
Yes, because the person driving is still getting ready. So I'm gonna be in the truck bed
Yeah.
for most of the ride with this, and I just set the laser bow across my lap again.
Mistel's
I'm
gonna-
almost.
I've heard
I'm
less
almost there. I
interesting.
just have to do the glitter, and we're fine.
The glitter is all important. It is part of getting your spell slots back.
100%. Well, no, getting the spell slots back is making a phone call to my daddy.
Mistel's gonna fly over and inspect the makeup because she has never seen this before.
I like to
Kindle's getting ready.
I like to think that it's, hey dad, I'm out of spells. Can you hand me another pile? And it's just like snap, and it
100%.
just-
That is absolutely yes.
Daddy, I need you to Venmo me some spell slots.
and it's just like snap spell slots.
Oh no, everything's fine. Everything's going great
Thanks.
here. Yep. No, he's doing a great job. No, I'm here with a bunch of really cool people. Yeah, no, I've got to go. So love you. Bye. Hang up really quick.
What kind of makeup does she have?
I mean, it's probably pretty fairly high end.
Like, is it like foundation? You said there's glitter.
It's so it would almost be, I feel like, because specifically Eladrin and a little bit more enhanced looking makeup, it would almost be bordering on like theatrical levels. But not quite there. It's been a long time since I've done much makeup stuff, so my like specifics are in my, they left my head in like the drug fueled college era.
That's fine.
But yeah,
So Mistle is fascinated by this. And to the point where she will forget that she hates Kindle for a little bit
sweet.
and asks, so how do you do this? As she like pokes a finger in a thing of foundation or glitter or whatever is over there.
You shouldn't
Oh
touch
my
that,
God.
Mistle. They don't like that.
No, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Do you want me to do your makeup?
Yes.
And she will proceed to go on. Right, sit down and go.
She'll sit
Yep,
down.
yep, and talk about what she's doing. She's doing it, so she's teaching how to do it.
This isn't going to really affect the outcome. I just want to see how well you do it. Give me a performance check.
I am not wonderful at performance, but I am not awful. On the flip side, I'm also rolling dice.
Can I assist?
Sure, why not?
Yay!
Take advantage.
Ian's like pointing out.
Hey,
things in
look,
the
the dice
section.
liked me for once.
Nice.
So yeah, it's an expert and appropriately chosen makeup application designed
It is a-
around the unique look that Mistle has.
And it is done like a fucking YouTube tutorial of explanation.
The whole time, Mistle is just like a small child who is having this done for the first time. And she's fascinated by everything.
I like.
So a
I
little
like
bit
while
more
this-
than an hour is what we're saying.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
Okay.
I love that this is intercut with shots of Varouche just sort of like drumming.
Yeah, he's just
drumming their
every about
fingers.
5 minutes he just like looks back to see if they're done. Nope.
Nope.
There's
What?
definitely a point where like Coltarn opens up one of the like portions of his like backpack, pulls out a pair of beers and hands one to Varouche.
Okay. Yeah, I'll have one of those.
Which is roughly when Till steps up to Coltarn and says, "Excuse me, do you have any thing reflective, mirror, anything like that in your?"
Yeah, give me a second. I'm sure I have something like
You
mirror-
have
with a
something
mirror
reflective,
finish. Yeah.
obviously. Yeah.
Okay, right.
I pull out. I like
You have
pull,
something with a mirror finish on it.
I pull out like a some of the things that I some of the bits and pieces that I use for laser targeting. And
Okay,
it's
yeah.
like, so
No, that would totally
strapped
make
together
sense.
like
Yep.
strapped
Yep.
together like a multifaceted like a bunch of smaller like mirror reflectors strapped together onto like a metal back to make like a small disjointed hand mirror and hand that over.
Right. And Till will just pass that to Mistle once Kendall's done.
It's kind of like
Yeah.
seeing yourself through the eyes of a fly, but you know.
When Coltarn makes a hand mirror, it's basically a full length mirror for Mistle. So
She will look at it and then squeal in glee and clap her hands. And as best as she can, give Kindle a hug.
Yep.
She's tiny, but you know,
Oh,
she'll
for
like
sure.
hug your shoulder.
So it just becomes more
It
adorable.
is full on hug back.
she's 1.5 feet, so she's the size of a small dog.
Yeah, please don't kill me with the hug.
No. Hey, let's Kendall probably has some level of experience dealing with smaller types of creatures being
Yeah, I mean they're
say
called
wildy stuff.
in Varans are nicknamed fairies. They're not fairies, but they're
They're not
nicknamed
fairies,
fairies
but-
because they look like them.
Yeah,
So you being the child of an archfey have probably actually dealt
she
with
knows
fairies.
how to hug yeah, she knows how to
Right.
hug fairies without crushing them.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I can show you more later.
Yes, please.
Awesome.
Yeah, so while that's happening, conversation between Varouche and bees.
So again, some of the bees are sort of swirling around and are starting to alight on the what is it that you call the weapon that Varouche has in his lap?
It's just a laser bow. Like it's
Okay.
just It's unfolded right now, but yeah, it's just basically like dark metal that just it looks like a basic recurve bow just made out of metal.
Okay. So some of the bees are coming and will land on it unless Farouche stops them.
I
No,
gave
it doesn't.
Harush a beer. He's cool now.
Yeah.
What is this?
It's a laser bow, also generally dangerous. Don't crawl in there.
Okay, where'd you get it?
Work.
Where's at the cop store?
The cop store.
It is question, is the void gate visible from
No,
from
you can't.
space?
Especially not on Nocturna, which has an atmosphere that does not allow visible
okay,
light through
yeah.
it.
Okay, yeah. So have you
For the most part, anyway, it
safe
like Nocturna's atmosphere like filters out 98% of visible light.
Dark.
does Koltarn have a data pad?
Koltarn's a lot of shit.
Yeah. Do you know what a void gate is?
We sure do. What's that?
Think of it like a door that you walk through or you fly a ship through, and then you go from one place to another place really far away.
Sitting literally on the opposite side of the car bed from where this conversation is happening, I'll pull out a small metal disc and use some of my magical tinkering to make it project a hollow, like an illusion of an active void gate above it. And with like ships going in and out, and I'll just sort of pass that over towards the roof.
Yeah, it pulls up a hologram that depicts this massive ring-like structure with what looks like teeth chopping down from the top and bottom, with this pitch black hole held between it, and ships just passing through and disappearing without appearing on the other side.
I'm not going to be able to pronounce it with this voice, William, but it's the one that I told you about.
Yes, let me that in Slack, yeah.
So the people, the organization that I work for makes sure that you travel safely through these. To do that, they have these rooms called armories that are full of weapons. That's where I got it.
So if someone's not safe, you shoot them.
If they are, yes, if they're causing harm, I shoot them.
How do you know what's harm?
Generally, if they're hostile.
Do you get to decide who's hostile?
No, but context is normally a good indicator of who's the aggressing party. That's mostly what we deal with, because not everything that's through that gate is nice, and that's mainly what we deal with, like the shadow things that the pirates had with them yesterday.
Yeah,
Things like that.
Okay. And you don't care about taking things?
Nope.
Okay.
That's someone else's department.
Yeah. Generally, no.
So if it's hostile, we attack it.
That's what I do.
Generally speaking, if it's hostile, it'll attack you first.
Yeah. Generally, you don't have to wait.
Okay.
If it's hostile, it'll attack you.
Don't wait. Attack. Got it. Thanks.
Just if you see me nod, how about you wait for that?
Okay.
Nobody asked for Rouge any yes questions.
Yeah, exactly. No, now he's just gonna have to be hyper aware of if his head is bobbing accidentally.
Don't fall asleep in a chair, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. How do you say that
If
one?
you
William?
think I didn't just write myself a post-it that says "If Varouche nods, attack," then you don't know.
Yeah, I
so
can't
it's
wait.
the name of the void gate is Void Gate Smitabiot.
Smite aboard.
Was it? I was gonna say, wasn't that Captain Hook's first mate?
No, that's me. That's Smitabiot.
Yeah, Smeo on the boat. That's the
Smear
anyway. Right. Anyway,
So
Till's just gonna go now. Now that Till's done his, humanitarian thing for the day, he's gonna go sit in the co-pilot's chair and wait.
we have a body. We really need to get somewhere. Are we ready to go?
Huh? Oh yeah, no, I am totally good.
Technically, the body's not actually decomposing. So,
Doesn't
Yeah, I'm
mean we
watching
don't need to
that.
get it somewhere.
I mean, you guys are the grown-ups. I'm just saying.
Yeah, that's weird to all of you who have ever seen a dead body before, by the way.
I'm still drinking a beer.
Does
In
it,
the back of
does
the
it
car.
smell weird at all?
It smells like nothing.
So so that's weird.
Yes, it has 0 scent.
What about taste? Like, not obviously biting parts off of it, but if the bees will get down on it.
Yeah, just like use it, like just try and get a taste sample of it.
Yeah.
It tastes like nothing.
Okay. Like not in that it's
Like you have a pressure sensation of like there is something being received, but there is no flavor sensation.
so not even like it's a neutral taste. It's like there's nothing being transmitted.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like you have the pressure sensation, but no flavor receptors activate.
Got it. Okay.
It's non-characterized matter. Cool. All right. Well, we have a map. We know which way to go from here, I believe. Let's get on the lack of road.
Mistel is now sitting on Kindle's shoulder, playing with her hair.
Kendall does not mind one bit. She has a new best friend, and she is okay with that.
Was probably a good spot for a break, William.
Yes, we'll go ahead and take a break here.
All right. As a reminder, if you're watching on Twitch, stay tuned for these commercial messages. And also, when we take our break, you take your break. So stand up, stretch your legs, grab a drink, whatever kind of drink you need. And we'll be back in just a few minutes. We're back. A dinosaur story.
Welcome back, everybody. So we pick up with the truck starting up and moving on.
Oh God. Sorry, no. Now I have to make a lizard person, and every time I say we're back, a dinosaur story, just do like a lizardy laugh.
No, troll.
Oh, I mean, yeah, like a troll in game, but I was talking about like a lizard
No,
folk
we're saying
D&D
you're a
character.
troll, John. You're a troll.
No, I'm talking about the Stardust trolls.
Yeah,
I mean,
yep,
yeah.
yep. That would work. That would work.
Or a Krogan.
I mean, play a lizard, folks. So when you say that,
We
you can
eventually need
lick
to
your
play a Mass
eyeball.
Effect 5e game.
Yeah, there we go. We're back. A dinosaur story.
Ooh, Irish lizard people.
But anyway, so the rest of the journey, someone roll me a D100.
I
Ooh, pick
will.
me.
I love starting out like I'm going to say the rest of the journey is uneventful, and then asking for a die roll.
You've got 2.
Whoops.
Well,
With
fortunately,
the first one.
fortunately, the rest of the journey is in fact uneventful.
Hey.
Eventually, you find yourselves in a clearing where the mass foliage that tends to block out a good portion of the view of the sky, such as it is, parts, and the marsh becomes grassland. And for the only place that you have seen in the entirety of the planet of Nocturna, rays of sunlight peek through. As you find yourself outside of what looks like a quaint cottage in the middle of the forest.
Is this something that bees have ever seen before?
I was going to say, I want to see how bees responds to direct
You've
sunlight.
never seen sunlight well, you've seen twilight. Like they're like in the height of summer,
Like the movie?
Nocturna gets a bit of twilight. No, like the environmental lighting condition. You have never seen direct sunlight in your life as a pile of bees.
All of the bees start to glow. The semi-translucent abdomens start to glow as close as they can get to the sort of golden yellow of the sunlight, and they start to drift a little further away. We're still in the dust runner, right?
Yep.
So they all sort of start to buzz out and around. The ones inside are pressing up against the windshield. The ones outside are buzzing up and around. What's that?
Also, if Gideon's never been off planet, Gideon's never seen sunlight in his life.
I don't know, but that's
It's the sun.
pretty.
It's
The
How's
sun?
It's
Yeah.
yeah.
From
So who's its dad?
it's like we want to be.
William, does Nocturna have a sun, or is this more starlight?
It does have a sun,
Okay.
but the atmosphere filters out, like I said,
All sunlight is
98% of the
technically
visible light.
starlight, let's be honest.
I mean, yeah,
like-
but there's a difference between sunlight and starlight.
If Nocturna didn't orbit a sun, it would be completely frozen. But
So if it
it's a relatively cold planet, but the atmospheric composition filters out about 98% of visible light.
So
You
if it's
don't get
the
any sunlight
sun,
down to.
who's its parents?
It's spelled differently, Gideon.
Actually, that's sort of a long story, but
It's
The answer is
What is
the
the-
religious answer is Saul, by the way.
yeah.
a big
Think of
a
it-
big space dragon.
think of it like a star.
Oh, a star.
He's
It's
probably never
very
seen those
bright.
either, right?
He's never seen one before, but
No, but
he's right
Mama
about
Leah
them.
told me about them. Yeah, they're the things. They're like gas. Like they're big balls of gas, and
Yes.
when you go in space, they're really bright. But why is it here?
This
I
one's
mean,
closer.
also they're people. Well, not
Because-
people, gods, but you know.
Sunlight reaches planets, some planets.
Really?
There's a lot of sun where I'm from.
It's pretty.
It's warm too.
Oh, I like warm.
Yeah, as you enter the sunlight, the temperature does rise a few degrees.
Never look directly at the sun.
Oh, sorry, too late.
So,
Ow.
of note, when you look up, you just see the eternal gray sky of Nocturna. These god rays are coming from nowhere.
Hmm.
Yeah, pretty much.
I look
When-
towards the shed.
When Mistle flies like into the sunlight, is it warm?
Oh yeah, it definitely feels like sunlight, but there's no source.
Hmm.
You said there was a building?
Yep, it's a small cottage.
I look towards the cottage. You think?
Well, I
do they
suppose
know-
this is where we reverse trick or treat a corpse.
Yep. Well, as soon as we get close enough to park, I will
Yep.
get out
Does
with
that
Tolbar and the
mean-
corpse.
Yep, I drive up.
All right. Let's go ask the Oracle what killed this man.
And give it back.
No.
No?
No.
Oh,
Oh,
right.
then-
We're here because of the dead guy from the. I completely forgot.
Yeah.
So what are we
forgot
gonna
there was
do
the
with
dead
it
guy in
once we
here?
figure out where it came from?
We're gonna let
That'll
the
probably
law
depend
master
on the
know.
answer.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The
but
only-
what do we do with him?
Probably drop him back off with the law keeper.
Or in a bog.
That's how you get zombies.
You say that as if there aren't already zombies.
I mean,
Don't need to
necromancers is
add.
how you get zombies.
One more zombie is not a better situation in most circumstances, in my experience.
How do we know he's not already a zombie?
I
He's not up
mean,
and
tell
moving.
that to the undead that actually live as part of society, Jack. Most only turn to piracy. That most sentient undead only turn to piracy because the world rejects them.
Hill draws a distinction between sapient undead that are a contribution to the societal fabric and shambling monsters who want to eat your brains and have little to no intellect to speak of.
There's a difference between zombie and an undead.
At least as far as Till's concerned. He might be wrong.
You're probably not, but anyway. The car parks, and Coltarn and Tolbar get out carrying this corpse.
I'm walking towards the door. I don't know if anybody else is following me.
Yeah.
If everybody else is going, then I'm going.
Mistle's
Be-
going.
Bees are absolutely distracted.
Fair
The-
child.
Oh yeah, I'm
All right.
going.
Bees, bees.
The hive body is not moving, and the bees themselves are still sort of glowing and just floating around almost aimlessly
gonna-
in the sunlight.
I'm gonna tap the armor. Bees, bees. We gotta go.
What?
We gotta go.
But we're
The thing we're here to do, we gotta do it.
we found it.
Yeah, so we gotta go do the thing we're here to do.
Okay. They will slowly, reluctantly come back to the hive armor, and then it will start to lurch after the others.
As you approach the door, it swings open smoothly without creaking on its own, leading to what looks to be a softly lit interior, the scent of incense burning inside, and a melodious voice calls out from inside. Enter, fate touched.
So you or me.
I enter. Stop me if you hear me. Stop me if you've heard this one before. And I just leave it as we bring the corpse in.
She waits as you enter.
Yep.
I'm assuming everyone else follows in behind.
Oh
Yep.
yeah.
These will come last, and they sort of stop in the doorway with it open. Is it still in the sun a little bit?
Yeah, and it's well lit inside as well, but not sunlight.
Yeah.
Coming down a flight of stairs as you enter is a human-ish looking woman with pale alabaster skin and long flowing golden hair that is tied with a red band into a small ponytail that rests around the front of her shoulder. Dressed in robes of white and black with silver trimmings, carrying a tall black and silver staff with a ruby red crystal gem set into the inset at the top. Her eyes are this faintly iridescent silver, and you can just constantly see the faint outline of a golden halo around the back of her head. It's just kind of translucently there. She wears a symbol of the dragon goddess Sol around her neck, and looks to the group of you.
Hi.
Greetings. My name is Janya. How can I help you?
Body on the floor.
Janya, I'm Kendall. These are my friends. And Gideon. Go.
It's a pleasure to meet all of you, faint touched.
So we ran into this body, and we don't know how the body died, and we need help.
Indeed.
Basically, somebody else ran into the body, and then we went and found them. And then we saw the body was there already.
I think it's more like the body ran into someone. Like it
Yeah, that.
fell.
Well, yeah.
You've encountered the body of the forgotten.
Who?
You brought it here to me.
That.
The forgotten. An individual forgotten by the gods themselves.
Oh, that sounds really sad.
So then how do they have a name?
They don't.
Well, I mean, the
They
name,
don't.
they're called the Forgotten. That's kind of like a title, capital F, capital T.
Because they've been forgotten. Everyone. And everything.
You'd think if they were forgotten, you wouldn't know to call them the Forgotten, though, is the thing.
I don't know what else to call them.
Fear.
Kind of like how Mama Erin says that orphans are the ignored.
All right, we're getting a little bit off
They-
topic.
I mean,
So, sorry.
there's. She's an oracle. I'm sure that surpasses.
She's also polite and just letting us ramble. How about we do a bit of silence so she can inform us?
Just saying.
Okay.
The forgotten is a guardian. And now that which he guarded is open. I will show you a vision. What you make of it and what you see within it, what you decide to do with this knowledge will be up to you. But know that it is not what is or what was or even what will be, but something of each.
Till very carefully makes sure his guns are secure and then holds his hands behind his back because he knows that you don't do visions while you have your hands on your weapons. So that's how accidents happen.
Are you prepared?
Sure.
Believe so.
I mean, sure, yeah.
The one currently known as Bees. Are you prepared?
Should be more sun.
I'm afraid the place that you're going to see is likely very dark.
That doesn't sound ominous at all.
Okay.
And she, when everyone is ready, she taps her staff on the ground, and there's this reverberating pulse of energy that seems to make the air in front of you vibrate. And everything begins to fade away. The ground, the sunlight, everything. As if you're standing in an empty void. And then surroundings rush into place around you. And you find yourself standing in what can only be described as a throne room drawn out of your worst nightmares. As everywhere you look, you see structures built simultaneously of meat and bone and yet matter that you've never seen, things that seem ethereal and wrong, with burning hellfire surrounding you in all directions. The skulls of horned creatures on pikes on various places of demonstration, and sitting directly across from you is a lone individual seated on a throne that is itself an ossuary, just piles of skulls sitting at its feet, the throne itself formed of carved bone. Not the bones of any creature you've ever seen. And sitting on the throne is an individual dressed in flowing black. A cloak that drapes about the sides with spiked metal pauldrons, deep, dark leggings with a belt adorned in skulls, their chest and abdomen exposed and yet seeming almost as if part of the outfit as their skin is charcoal, with a necklace of fangs and teeth, with fire seeming to peer between the cracks in this individual's skin, with a dark hood that shows no face, as it looks at the group of you, and you feel this palpable sense of dread as this figure looks upon each of you and stands and begins to walk towards you. And you have this sense that you are in danger and that this is a battle that you are about to have to either fight or die in. What do you do?
Head first. I'm going. Pull out the heavy blade. Wait, before I do that, actually, does this look like any sort of aberration, or is this more hell themed?
This is a fiend.
Okay, all right. Then yeah, heavy blade comes out.
I take to the air.
I would like to immediately upon the first step scream. Real loud.
Does question before Varouche charges, does he nod?
I don't think he looks around to see if everybody's here with him.
More
Fair enough,
important
fair enough,
question, are we alone in this vision?
No, you're all standing next to each other.
Cool. In that case, shield, actually no, shield not out. Shotgun out and toolbar armed.
Still screaming.
Yep. Till's jumping in front of Kendall and guns out.
Mistel will take Kendall's hand. It's okay. We're all here. You don't need to be afraid.
Will also pull out my holy symbol and abjure the extraplanar.
Yep. So I'm gonna cut the situation short. You are not able to defeat this individual over the course of this. As you enter the fray in various positions or don't, he seems to either be impervious to your blows or consider them laughable as he bats you aside, crushes your defense, and doesn't even seem to draw a blade as he washes you in hellfire and obliterates you from existence. And as each of you burns in the raw fires of Sarheim, you find yourselves back in the cottage,
Still
standing where you
screaming,
were.
even at the cottage.
The torch beasts surge out of the hive body towards the oracle to attack.
Let's- I will sort of interpose myself between bees and the oracle if I can. Bees, it was a vision.
That hurt.
Yeah, I know. Yes, it did.
They did it to us.
It was a vision, bees.
There's loud, angry buzzing, but they won't actually attack the oracle. But they are swarming around and clearly agitated.
Why would you show us that?
I said
Was that?
that was, what is, and what will be, something of each. What you witnessed was the cause of this situation. What you felt was, as you are now, what you can do about it. But what you encountered is where you eventually must be. You who are fate touched.
What? You want us to go fight that thing?
I want nothing. I merely show you how the twisting realms of fate lay themselves before you.
In all of this, Till was initially going to react to try and snap Kendall out of it as much as possible. Starting with a like grab shoulders, little shake, but if more direct things are necessary, he's got options.
Yep,
Mistful
yep,
is
yep.
still holding on to Kendall's hand.
There probably does need to be a slap.
Okay. He'll start with just flicking her on the forehead, but
Yeah.
But if a slap is necessary, he can manage that.
That will definitely shut her up, and then she goes, right, sorry. How?
I apologize.
Being witness to the same vision, I can tell you this. The individual you saw is a lord among the fiends of Sarheim. Perhaps one who could be called a king. A king of demons. And it is he that is responsible for the death of the Forgotten. And with the Forgotten's death, his forces are unleashed.
So, that's cool. Real quick, what if I say no?
If no one rises to defeat the Forgotten, if no one rises to defeat this king of demons, then his forces will spread across the galaxy. And the hell of Sarheim will be known to the material world.
Even Nocturno?
Even here.
Probably not in the swamp. Gideon, you can come live with us in the swamp.
So what you're saying is either we die sooner or we die later.
As you are now, you do not have the strength to face this demon king. But fate does not lay out a task to those who need it without a way to succeed.
So we can get stronger.
Indeed you can.
I've got like a pile of wrecked projects back on a station, on a space station, the other side of the galaxy that disagrees with you.
There is a difference between coincidence and fate. Fate is not something that happens every day.
Well,
The world is made of choices. Everyone, every day, makes individual choices and decisions. It is very rare that fate will lay something out for someone. There is no such thing as predetermination, only a quest and a series of circumstances that have been engineered to allow those to succeed upon it. Whether you do or not is up to those decisions that you make every day. But the task has been laid before you, and what you do with it is your own. And know that the consequences of failure will be vast and far-reaching.
If it keeps my mom safe, I'm in.
Literally what I signed up for. Sorry if it's not for the rest of you.
Till looks like he's having an aneurysm right about now.
Goldarn's definitely like, you can tell on his face, he's like, this is not the thing that I do. I don't fight demons.
Does he say that?
No, but you could tell like it's on. He's got the I'm a mechanic look on his face, like you can see it's processing in his brain. Cool. Well, you gonna get rid of this body, or do we need to take it back with us?
I will do what I can with the forgotten. She says as she just reaches a hand up and the body begins to levitate.
Oh shit, where'd he go?
Told you we were giving it back.
I just
What
turn and walk out the
was
door.
he guarding?
The door to hell.
Oh.
One more thing. If we're fated, then that means we're all fated, right?
All of you have come to me today. And perhaps even those you meet along your travels. Fate has a way of spreading to those that stumble in its path.
So we can get more help.
You can, and you likely will. Some of you may stumble. Your choices are your own, and it is possible to fail in this path, even partially. Death is not impossible, even if you succeed. But know that failure means death for everyone.
Great. Great. Can you give me just 1 second? I need to make a phone call to someone.
I'm already
One
back
place
at the
there's
car.
no bars.
Oh, says
Right?
you. I'm already at the bar. Oh, right. Bars, cell phone bars.
Yeah. Wrong, other bars.
I'm at the car breaking out alcohol right now. I have a brewer's kit. I have brewer supplies for a reason.
Mistel will fly over to the Oracle. I was wondering if you could help me with something.
Ask, and I can answer if I can.
There are some people I've been looking for. I was wondering if you could help me find them.
Describe them to me.
They look a lot like me.
Are they your family?
Yes.
My abilities involve reading the skein of fate. Often adventurers come to me because they are fate-touched. I cannot read the motions of every day. I cannot tell the decisions that individuals will make in the moment. I can only see the outline of fate as it rests before someone. But I can tell you that your family is alive. Where you will find them, I cannot say. But your decisions can lead you to them.
Thank you.
Who's still in the cottage?
Baruch is.
Kendall is.
Oh, okay. I thought Kendall like left to go make a phone call.
No.
Oh, okay.
She looks at her communicator for a long period of time. Huh, there must be no reception in here, she finally says sort of awkwardly and walks out.
There's a faint smile that tugs at the Oracle's face.
Janya, can you see the next step in our path? We
Ooh,
hear
that's a
that
good one.
the Demon King is attempting to invade the galaxy, and that we are the ones fated to stop it, but knowing where to go next, or at least some hint of what might be worth pursuing, just as a next step. I'm not asking for a full roadmap.
I can see the first of what may be many allies on your quest ahead of you. It will come from an unlikely place, from what would, in most situations, be considered your enemy. But you will find, upon the door to the galaxy, the gate that holds near. Somewhere in the city that exists around the void gate nearest here. You will find this ally, and they may provide you with what you need next.
Gilgamesh Station. Gilgamesh Station is the closest thing to the void gate.
No, there's actually, most void gates have their own, like, cities around them.
Gotcha.
Which is what she's referring to.
Okay. Makes sense.
And this is beyond that. You will likely find the tools, the resources to procure the strength you need from the organization that is designed around providing those to the individuals who seek them. The Core Adventurers League may be a place to seek strength, to seek allies, to seek what you need to grow, to be strong enough to meet this challenge.
Very well. All right.
As it stands, you are the only ones who know of the situation, and not to make it clear to you, not many will believe you. The idea that this mysterious Hellgate would suddenly open and legions of demon ships would begin to pour into the galaxy seems impossible, unfathomable to most, and most will not believe it until those ships are upon their very homeworld.
Well, we can at least try, I guess.
The idea that the death of one individual whose name no one knows could open this gate would seem even more ridiculous. But his namelessness is by intent. He was never meant to be found. Nor was he meant to be killed, she says, looking somewhat confused for a second. The Demon King wields a power that he should not. He wields the end of all things.
Is it possible that this forgotten person was actually the one who was fated to stop the Demon King, and since we found him, the fate was passed to us?
I will say this. The Forgotten has acted as the gatekeeper for Hell for many millennia. And thus, on his death, the quest to stop that which would come through in his absence is laid before you in fate. It is perhaps more accurate to say that your fate exists because he died, rather than that his death passed it upon to you.
Okay, that makes sense.
With a 12 on a religion check, does Till have any idea what the end of all things power would be?
Ginunga Gap.
Okay.
The void is considered to be literally nothingness.
Okay.
It is theorized that if anything could kill a god, it would
Mhm.
come from the void.
Okay. So we're not
And-
talking Magnus here, necessarily.
No.
Okay.
No. Magnus is considered the god of entropy.
Right.
He wants nothing to do with Ginunga Gap. Ginunga Gap isn't entropy. Ginunga Gap is nothingness.
Right. Okay. Makes sense.
And it's a power that's supposed to be antithetical to just about everything that isn't it. So it's hard to imagine a demon being able to wield it.
Right.
Like, there are occasionally void-touched spellcasters, but they are an anomaly and
Mhm,
weird.
Okay. Cool.
And decidedly not demons usually.
Right.
Because demons are not like physical beings usually. They're made up of essence, and void eats essence.
All right. Till's just gonna look around at everybody else like, so we hanging out?
I'm already at the car.
Mistel has followed after Kendall.
I mean, if you're good, I'm good.
Bees left a while ago. That was the
So then
stealth
it's just us three in there still.
Two birds and an elephant.
If you have any more
thank you.
questions, I will answer what I can. But again, my power only extends to the skein of fate. And I cannot see every step upon it. I can only see the outline, as it is made of many decisions before you.
I think we're good. So
This might be a bit presumptuous. You don't have like a comm number or anything if we think of anything later.
You can reach me, but know that I will not always be available or even able to help.
Oh. Of course. No, that's very kind of you.
You're not going to text the Oracle of Fate you up? Question mark.
More than occasionally, the environment of Nocturna becoming difficult to pass signal through, as spotty Galnet connection can be considered here. Oftentimes, I will be held up with other matters. My duty as the Oracle here is one of many. I am a servant of Saul.
Absolutely understandable.
It is funny to bring you one whom my mistress has forgotten.
Yeah. Well, maybe we'll end up in the same spot one day. You never know.
not me.
Hovering
I'm
off
gonna
the
beat that
ground.
thing.
Hovering off the ground is a quest objective for a bunch of schmucks to pick up.
Mm-hmm. We're the schmucks still, John.
I know.
Well, Till's gonna go check on his assignment.
Oh, thanks for your time. Bye.
He nods.
So those that exited
I nod
earlier,
as well.
Bees isn't there to see it.
those that exited earlier would have seen Coltarn basically having extricated some form of keg, some form of technological keg, and has topped off a very large mug with a very good head of foam, and is just downing it.
Mistel has flown over to Kendall and given her a hug.
Kendall is definitely take the hug. Is I don't know what this world's equivalent of like the social drug that is a cigarette would be, but that's what she's doing.
Cigarette.
Act. Okay, fair enough.
They're made of different things, but they're cigarettes.
Yeah. Okay, fair.
Golden
I'm good. I'm
cigarillos.
fine. Is probably what's being said as
I don't think you are.
no, I'm okay. Never seen anything like that. That was a little creepy, but you know what? I'm fine now. I'm fine.
I don't think any of us
Everbloom
have
is the
seen
name-
anything
is-
like that.
Everbloom is the name of the popular weed that goes into most cigarettes.
Got it.
They're usually
And-
called a bloom stick. I will call it that.
And I
So,
still don't think you're fine.
I'm as fine as
really-
everybody else.
I'm really sorry to bother you, Kendall, but you're the only one who can drive.
Uh-huh.
I would like to get back.
Yeah, no, yeah, we can definitely we should wait for my bodyguard for sure.
He came out with me.
Okay, you guys already
Yeah,
out.
I was
Got
gonna
it.
say, right.
I was
and
confused.
Till just
Yeah.
steps into view.
Right, you are here. Good.
Yes, I am.
Awesome.
Mistel will fly over to Till, whisper in his ear. She says she's fine, but she's not fine.
Till just gives her a very subtle, not subtle at all, thumbs up.
Yep, nope, let's go. Flicks cigarette away, walks by. I'm assuming while walking to the driver's seat,
Did
one
you just
has
flick
to
a
pass.
cigarette into the lawn of the Oracle of Soul?
Uh-huh. I mean, actually, probably more into the swamp area, but still.
Okay, but still, right.
She wasn't really specific on where it went. I'm assuming I have to pass by the distillery that has been set up.
Yeah.
She just passes by, stops for just like a fraction of a second to smoothly from a glass. You don't know where the glass came from, but the glass came from somewhere. Get a good old glass full.
Coltarn will pour for you.
Yeah. And like without even pausing in step.
Right.
It is empty by the time she is in the driver's seat.
Nice. Gideon climbs into the gunner's mount.
Is it insight to tell whether or not this is going to be Kendall driving impaired?
Yeah.
It's good. It's good dwarven mead too.
24.
Probably not enough to throw off her driving in
Okay.
most situations.
Right.
Hard to tell in the marsh, but
Till's just gonna sit down in the passenger seat and make sure he's within arm's reach of the yoke. In case.
I have an interesting question.
Okay.
So, in the description for Unseen Servant, servant can perform simple tasks that a human servant can do, such as fetching things, cleaning, mending, folding clothes, lighting fire, etc. Is
the question, can he
driving one of
drive?
those things?
Unseen chauffeur.
I will say because you specifically are proficient in the vehicle, yes.
Yeah.
Amazing.
So she sits down next to the driver's seat.
Okay.
Just second, like in the middle of the bench seat.
Yep, just. All right, we're going.
Home, Jeeves.
Yep.
Glorious.
How's Bees doing in this whole situation?
Bees are not in the car. Bees are sort of standing. The hive armor is standing sort of erect but slumped over. sort of the shoulders are kind of cocked to a weird angle. The arms are just hanging down limp. In the farthest sunbeam from the cottage, and the torch bees are sort of milling around through the light, kind of aimlessly around the hive armor.
Erect but slumped over is my Sex Pistols cover band.
Jesus.
That's real good. That's super, super good.
Oh crap, we're forgetting Bees. I hop out of the gunner's mount and run over to him. Bees! Bees, we gotta go. Bees! Dude! Tap the armor.
That wasn't good. The voice from all around you, a little fainter, a little more echoey, just because the torch bees are spread out more.
I'm gonna sit down next to him. No, it wasn't. But you heard what she said. If we don't stop that thing, it's gonna come to Nocturna. It's gonna kill our mama. And it's gonna destroy your swamp. And I'm gonna be honest with you, Bees. I'm just a punk kid from the swamp or from Nocturna, but I'm not gonna let that happen if I'm the one supposed to stop it. And I don't know how I'm gonna do that. But buddy, put my arm on his shoulder or on the armor's shoulder. I promise you, I'm gonna stop it.
Gideon, we can't stop that thing.
Not yet. But you heard what she said. She said we can get stronger. She said we're the ones who are supposed to do it. And Mama Erin says that as long as you, where there's a will, there's a way. As long as you believe you can do it, and you will do whatever you're willing or whatever is necessary to do, then you can do it. And well, what else is there? We're just gonna sit here and watch our home burn because we're too scared to stop it?
We don't want to lose the swamp.
And I don't
We
want to
don't-
lose the city.
We don't want to lose your mamas. We don't want to lose you, Gideon.
And I don't want to lose you, Beast.
We
So
just
let's
found-
go out there and kick some butt.
Can we find more sunlight?
We're gonna find all the sunlight in the galaxy, bud.
Okay.
Let's go.
I like that Gideon is the Vaughn of this game. Or if it's the only Final Fantasy 12 players will know.
The bees will slowly at first and then increasingly quickly flow back into the hive armor, and which will start to move again and shamble after Gideon back towards the car, toward the dust runner.
I'm gonna climb up in the gunner's mount, and as soon as Bees is in the dust runner, I say, all right, let's go kick some ass.
Bees gets closer and is sort of slowly moving faster, and seems to be coming back to themselves a little bit, and then gets closer to the dust runner, sees that the driver's seat is open, and immediately goes and starts pulling at the driver's seat. We're driving. It's time.
You bump into something as you try and climb in, because the unseen servant is not intangible.
The driver's
Sorry,
seat
Bee.
is weird.
Sorry, Bees. William's driving today.
Oh God, you named your unseen servant. Lee.
Why would I not?
How does
Pretty
William
great.
have? Does William have independent feelings, and if so, do those feelings include any towards being covered with bees? Because if so, they are experiencing those right now.
I feel like I don't know. No, mindless. Specifically mindless.
Okay,
So
fair.
doesn't mind.
So okay,
It
so
looks like there's a bee person.
yeah,
A
exactly.
person
It
made
is
out
no
of
longer-
bees.
William is no
driving.
longer invisible.
I'm not gonna lie, that's pretty fucking metal.
Yep.
Fucking tastic.
The hive armor, which is becomes even more sluggish and uncoordinated when most of the bees are out of it, sort of slumps into the back through one of into any open space, maybe even just into the bed of the dust runner, but just sort of slumps aboard. And from the air around William, you hear, "We're driving!"
As the unseen servant begins to drive you back home.
Yep.
We'll cut the trip back short. You manage to avoid any further encounters with the Bloodkin.
Now, there will become a point where, first I will have to recast Unseen Servant.
Mhm.
And I don't know how far the total trip is back.
More than
About
2
16
hours.
hours.
Yeah, so at some point I'm gonna have to somehow finagle getting into that spot.
You stop before the unseen servant.
Yeah, I
ends
will
for the
stop,
second
yeah.
time.
Yep.
And then you have the unseen servant with bees still on them stand
Get
up
out.
and walk out so he
Yep,
can get in the scene.
And I quickly jump in.
The bees attempt to swarm into the space.
Get
Frozen
off, bees.
Eladrin.
Bees.
Driving.
Bees.
Please,
We
you have your
don't touch
turn.
people. We
Let her
don't
have her
touch people
turn.
without their consent.
But it was
Remember, Mama Aaron said consent.
You had your turn. You got to
Mama
ride on
Aaron
William.
says a lot of things, apparently.
Mama Aaron's the one that talks about it.
Please come sit with me.
okay. The bees will begrudgingly buzz out of the seat, making room for Kendall.
I'm very tempted to offer bees a beer.
I think to be clear, they weren't swarming onto Kendall. It was more as Kendall was shifting over, suddenly the seat, like right under that buttock, was full of bees.
Yeah, still.
No, I mean you definitely didn't want to sit on it,
Right.
for sure. Or I don't know what Kendall's into, but probably not. You got your EpiPen?
Looks over.
Feel like you need an epi tank at that point.
Right?
Looks over until like, good news.
Yes.
Not the worst thing that's happened today. Perspective. Let's go.
I don't think your father's going to be happy about this.
Yeah, no, I tried to call, but there wasn't any reception. I don't know what that whole thing was about. I'm sure it's fine. We don't have to tell him. It's okay.
That is your call. Or lack thereof.
I think we'll be fine. He's
I
busy. He's
mean-
got a lot going on.
You'll be fine. That's sort of what I'm here for.
It'll all work out. You'll see.
Okay.
Fucking brilliant. Anything else that needs to happen over the course of this day and a half car drive?
Make
You
use
let
of my
bees
breeding
actually drive for any part of it.
supplies.
Knowing the route that we took, is there anywhere that would be in very safe for a non-driver to drive? Long, clear spots that last for more than like an hour or something like that. So it's not like, okay, you drove for 20 minutes, now you have to get out. Like,
I'll tell you that the
shut up,
clearing.
Siri.
I'll tell you that the clearing that you found the Oracle's house in was an anomaly.
So no.
So no.
She's just going to pretend she didn't hear anything and let somebody else explain why it's not a good idea for driving to happen.
Does
Till
Till
will
explain?
explain.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Yeah, Till will absolutely explain. So bees, the way the driving works is that generally on most worlds you have to be licensed. Do you have identification?
Yes.
Have you can you show me your official paperwork?
Yes.
Let me see it right now.
No.
All right.
Who
So
are you? Cop?
so unless you can produce official identification and licensing paperwork, generally you get in trouble for driving things, especially if it might endanger other people. Also, in order to have the necessary skill to drive safely, it usually takes several years of practice and training. And when you start practicing and training, you have to start in the simplest environment possible. Lots of open space, lots of easy terrain. This is a very, very bad place to begin your practice driving. So we are going to have to find you a good place where you can practice safely and not risk wrecking your hive or your armor. Does that make sense at all?
Who has paper in the Dust Runner? Does anyone have paper?
I mean, you're wasps. You have paper.
Well, yes, but it's very obviously like gray hive paper.
Right,
Does
yeah.
anyone have sheets of paper? No?
I do, yes.
Mistel will probably have some little ones in her pack, but
Yeah, there's probably
That's,
some
that's
paper in-
Invaran-sized paper, though, so...
A 50... Bees are taking some of Coltarn's paper. The 15 is whether you see it or not. I'm using my mage hand.
Hang on. My passive perception is 12, and Tolbar's passive perception is 14, so no, we don't see it.
Okay. There is increased buzzing inside the hive armor. And sort of at there is no initial response to Till's question. And then B says, "We have papers."
Let me see them.
Okay. Coming out of the neck hole of the hive armor is a roll of paper.
He'll take it and unroll it. What's it say? Anything?
In wax on the inside, there is an intricate hexagonal pattern, on the inside of which is a drawing in wax of a torch bee.
Right. So this won't let you drive anywhere, but this is very good.
Do you remember? I don't. Maybe this is. I don't know. Again, I'm dating myself here, but when I was a kid, you could get these little wax beads and sort of different colors, and you could load them onto
right, and then you run
basically a
the
sheet of-
iron over top of it. Right,
exactly.
yeah, mhm,
That's what it looks like.
Right,
They
okay,
basically
yep,
made
right.
a picture of themselves, but it's sepia tone because it's
Right.
basically just in different shades of wax.
Right.
But yeah. So in that almost like pixelated wax style, there is a
Right.
picture of a single torch bee on this piece of paper.
So generally, this sort of thing would have to be, on official government paperwork and signed by a political appointee of some sort, and there would be seals and that sort of thing. But this is a very good start.
We couldn't find that paper. We only had what Coltarn had.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
Wait, what?
You don't
Don't
have
worry.
the right
Don't worry
paper,
about it.
Coltarn.
I have paper for taking notes.
Get the right paper next time.
God, Coltar, what's wrong with no?
Did you
So-
steal my paper? Bees?
Till will
No.
let the paper sort of re-roll back and hand it back to the armor.
Back
Right.
in the neck hole. In response to Coltarn, it was just no.
I don't believe you, Bees.
Okay.
I have paper.
Is it the right paper?
I don't know. It's my paper.
Till, hold on. I might have papers.
Mistel will pull out little tiny pieces of paper.
Wonderful.
The right paper?
Guaranteed not.
Okay. Thanks, Mistel.
Welcome.
Let's get the right paper. Also, can you sign it? Are you what did Till say?
Political
Sorry.
appointee.
Are you a political appointee? Gideon, do we know any pointy political people?
Huh?
We need him to sign some right paper.
White paper? Why do you need white paper?
Because they need to drive.
You can't. What?
Love it.
Till said if I get a pointy political person to sign white paper, then I can drive.
You get a pointy. What? I can't hear you, dude. You gotta come up here.
Okay. These will start buzzing up on top.
Oh my god, this is amazing.
The bees will repeat everything verbatim as best they can.
Oh no, dude! You gotta go to the lawmaster and tell him you want to drive and stuff, and then you gotta get somebody to teach you, and then you gotta get the lawmaster to sign on somebody teaching you and stuff. That's what Till was saying.
Okay.
In this small town, that tracks, yes. The sheriff would be the one signing off on driver's licenses.
Excellent.
So the lawmaster has the right paper.
I mean, probably.
Yes, and you can't steal it from him because you know how bad.
I know. I
Mama
can't
Leah
steal because
hates
I
it.
know them.
Right, and then we get in trouble. And apparently, sometimes we don't get in trouble, but we would definitely get in trouble if we stole.
I know. Coltarn's not from here, right?
Yeah, but I don't think the lawmaster would like us stealing from him either.
I'll be right back.
One of the people that
right
Lawmaster said that you shouldn't steal from is your friends.
Right.
Another 15. Yeah, but I don't know Coltarn that well. Another 15. So, Coltarn, at some point in the future, you will pull out a sheet of paper from your stack of paper, and there will be a little pixelated wax bee on it.
Oh yeah, I've already made that note.
The perfect crime will ever trace it back. It's not only like it's not like it's not only like covered with the equivalent of fingerprints. It's not only in the equivalent of handwriting. It's essentially just like chock full of genetic matter.
It's also a picture of bees.
Yeah,
that they made
exactly.
themselves.
They'll never suspect me. I only painted this self-portrait in my own blood.
Exactly. All right, I apologize. I am done sidetracking this. No, I'm not.
Are you?
But
Are you
probably for now.
really?
No.
I've added
am
a
sorry.
resource
I
into
am-
my character sheet that says notes until I find the paper. 10 out of 10.
Amazing.
At some point, that will reach 0.
That's when I'll nod.
So do we get back to Knox?
Yes, you get
I
back to
believe
Knox.
we're on the way. Yes.
Unless anything important happens between the group of you, you make it back to Knox.
Man, I can't wait to get off this planet next week.
Maybe. We don't have a ship
Yet.
that I know of.
And we're not allowed to steal a ship either.
Yet.
It's fine.
There might have been some discussion on the way back that would have basically been, hey, when we get back to Knox, Sill's suggestion will be, let's go to the heads of the Adventurer Guild, tell them what we found out, and see what they can do to help. They probably
Didn't-
won't believe us, but it's worth a try.
I mean, I was planning on applying to the Coors Adventurers League, next anyways, so
I need
might
a
as well
rifle.
get that. Might as well get a jump on that.
So that's gotta happen too. Before we
And-
get a ship. I want a
and-
rifle.
All right. And Till's also going to sort of take the temperature of the group. Is everybody in on this? Is this just what we're going to do because the Oracle said so?
I mean, yes.
I mean,
All right.
I already had a plan. I'm going to be proceeding with that plan. If that plan happens to involve me eventually dealing with the Demon King of Demon things, sure. But yeah.
Oracle said this will lead me to my family, so yes.
All right.
That's what she said.
This is the type of threat that literally been training for quite a while for. So
Makes sense. Miss
not this
Fairchild.
specific, but
I mean, what else were you gonna do?
I assumed you had a list of parties several meters long, but
Like, this seems like a way bigger party.
that is certainly one way to look at it. I suppose.
Metaphorically, bigger party.
I mean, we could also have parties on the way to kick this thing's ass.
That's a real good point.
All right then. Well, I suppose we'll do that.
So, with the group kind of sort of maybe resolved, that's where we'll go ahead and end for the week. We'll pick up next week with the arrival back in Nox.
Say bye, everybody.
Bye.
Goodbye.